Hiya. It's just me this time. Jake's not here. Something I like doing in my spare time, if I ever have any, is deconstruct exactly what makes certain media tick. I like seeing other people delve deep into the design and writing of a piece of media and pick it apart. But there's a strange thing that's been happening over the last few years and continues to poison the beautiful lake of critique by muddling it with review. Review and critique exist on the same spectrum, like your autism diagnosis, but the key distinction between the two is that review tends to be a recommendation. For or against doesn't matter. Critique looks at why things like writing, cinematography, gameplay, sound design, etc. work well or don't mechanically. Now I know what you might be saying, Greg.
Oh, but Nino, the epic gamer of Doom 69 has critical points in his review.
A lot of reviewers will have some critical points raised in their reviews, but these comments are very surface level due to the nature of review. You cannot spend time deconstructing why the dialogue in scene A contradicts the actions taken in scene B, because the point of reviews is this worth my time, yes or no? A basic level of knowledge is not needed to read or watch a review, because the good reviewer will give a basic synopsis of the plot and gameplay for the uninitiated. On the point of reviews, bias is okay. A biased reviewer is only bad because you don't know how to use them. If a reviewer you don't like, with tastes that you don't share, says that a game is bad, that game will probably be fantastic to you because it's everything that the reviewer you hate hates. Find people that share a similar taste to yours. You like your game to have a great rags to riches story? Find a reviewer that does too. Take their recommendation for Orc Massage and try it out. Critique generally is not going to be a recommendation. Critics will tear apart single mechanics, bits of writing, segments of cinematography, and often talk about it for several pages. You want to read 23 pages of how dolly zooms can be used to emphasize shock? Not a lot of people do, except critics and general enthusiasts. Critiques also presume a basic level of knowledge of the work being discussed. Barely, if at all, do you get a spoiler alert, because it's assumed when you're clicking on a 9-hour Oblivion deep dive that you at least vaguely know about the filthy noir. I could happily sit down and play a game like Spec Ops The Line with a smile on my face and a pitched tent, but looking at the game with a critical eye, there are mechanical problems in both gameplay and story that keep it from truly being as good as it can be. Telling the player that they have choice, but then forcing several choices in the gameplay and chastising the player for it happening via the story, for example. That lessens the impact of the story because I did not do that. The game forced me to. I didn't want to give the fart jar to the magical forest nymph, but you made me do it, and now the nymph is dead. Now, there are people on the internet who do very good actual critical commentary, and I encourage you to look them up. Shout out to Joseph Anderson, Super Eyepatch Wolf, and Max Durat. Durat? However you say it. Mwah, kisses. But a lot of people present critique as exclusively something negative. Positive criticism exists and is defined as drawing attention to a good or positive aspect of something that is being ignored or disregarded. Quite poetic, ignoring the concept of ignoring positive aspects of something. Just pointing out the flaws of a thing is not a critique. Deconstructing why it's flawed, directly comparing it to other works or other similar mechanics, and presenting a well thought out case is critique. Imagine you're working on something and I come over to say, you're doing it wrong. Okay, great. How do I do it right then? And then there's the think pieces. Imagine you're hammering a nail and I compliment you on your nail hammering prowess, but I critique the way that you hold your hammer because I think you should hold it at the top like you're strangling a giraffe. I'm not presenting any critiques based on facts, I just think that this is how the hammer should be used, but the way I think is objectively wrong. Those are think pieces. So, what the fuck is this video? Man, I don't know. Critical analysis is good for you. People hide behind the concept of like a lot while trying to pass themselves off as critics. You can like a lot of things. Cookies, animals, genocide. Saying that Kratos in God of War 2018 is well written because you like the direction they took his character is a meaningless comment.
But it's my opinion.
Yes, it is. But your opinion is not conducive to analyzing why he is well written. Backing your opinion up with examples of well-written character moments or scenes, comparing it to the old or comparing it to similar works, and explaining why it works is 10 times more helpful than saying, me likey, 8 out of 10. Speaking of the 8 out of 10, numerical ratings are fucking meaningless, and they should die along with the decrepit media journalism cesspits that still permeate these industries. That was my opinion.
Did you really think I'd let that bellend get away with making a video without me? Don't you worry. I'll just be here playing some video games. But without further ado, let's get back to Nino's mumblings and ramblings.
I like to encourage people to go off on their own weird little tangents. They say curiosity kills the cat, but the cat has 9 lives in the canonical lore of the universe, so you can spend some of those trying to make a small 2-foot jump from building to building and eat shit. Yes, the cat has a broken leg, but it learned, and now it will look at a 2-foot gap more critically and think, maybe that bird over there isn't worth the hassle. If you like something, find out why you like it. In Kingdom Hearts 2, why does Goofy getting hit in the head with a boulder get you busting out laughing? Why is Devil May Cry 3 so cool? A, because it's stupid, and B, because Dante rides a missile like a fucking surfboard. Now that you understand on a surface level why you like a thing, you can delve deeper into it. Take Kingdom Hearts as an example again. I like the more serious parts of the story is a basic review. The impact of the more serious aspects of the storyline are enhanced by the lighthearted character moments sprinkled in between is a positively critical look into why it works. I don't know how long it will take to make these. I don't know how long these will be, but I want to take a dive with you guys into the dark, sweaty crevices of our favorite media. I want to encourage you all to do the same. Put these on as background noise if you want to, viewer, but if you manage to tune back into one part of the video, make sure it's this one. Don't just like a thing. Serial killers like murder. Mr. Hands likes horses. A little too much. Engage the critical thinking part of your brain and deconstruct why your favorite media works and doesn't work in comparison to others that try to do the same but fail. Whatever next one of these I make, God knows when, we will be taking an actual look at some media instead of me just rambling, but this serves as an important preface. Stick with me. You might learn something. Bye.